Take care, Mont. Salvat. Let's go with e4. Okay, let's try this. I've been doing a lot of knight c3, closed Sicilian, but let's enter this territory. Zveshnikov Sicilian might we see? Or not? Maybe Dragonland. Sicilian Dragonland. Now that is different. That is definitely different right there. What do you do here? Well, my first thought is just keep going. Bishop c4. Is my opponent looking to take my knight and then play their bishop to c6? Or should I look to play f4? Well, actually, what's wrong with just bishop here? No. I'm going to go for the more aggressive. I may not want to just go for a queenside castle, so I think I might want to go with a quick kingside castle. And then something like f4, f5, maybe some bishop g5 thrown in between. Okay, this is, well, we're entering by transposition. What are we entering? What is happening here? Dragon variation by transposition. Bishop back. And now, yeah, this is clearly just dragon territory by a little bit of a move order. f3 stops knight here, allows for queen d2. Queenside castle, so started a little bit weird with the quick deployment of those queenside pieces. And now it's going to get wild. Or maybe I could prevent it from getting wild and enter into calmer territory. So we have what's known as the Yugoslav attack going on. Queenside castle, run h-pawn. Run forest. h5, engage. If I'm going to castle on the queen side, we're out to kill one another's king. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. All in. The chips are pushed all in. Let's go. All in. These games usually finish quick. Okay, do I say, you know what? Let's go. g4. Takes. h5. I like knight d5 instead, actually. I'm going to go with that. This is a more positional approach. But don't interpret that as like, well, it's just going to end up in a draw. I think I still maintain an edge. I have still a lead in development. Slight. Very slight. And I have, well, my opponent's in a pin. They'll probably play rook c8. But I have this to be biting at. h5 with this g4 move. I wonder if I should take here with my bishop and then have the bishop recapture and then play g4. I don't want this knight getting to this square. I think I'm actually going to try that. It's interesting. I'm going to give that a shot. Just so I could get in this g4 move a bit easier. They're crazy to give up their dark square bishop, by the way. This is like a #1 priority. As black, you want to hang on to this guy or you will suffer defeat quickly. Quickly. This g file opening up, this king is going to get sliced up really quick without this bishop around. He is a #1 defender for castled position. Your dragon bishop. The dragon bishop is on g7, the one that has been fianchettoed. Beware. He's a tough guy. Yes, the bishops are 3 when they're off the board, but in this position right here, this guy is like 5. He is worth a beefy 5 points. So, let's chop and then play here, right? This bishop, I like that the bishop is getting in the way of the rook, even having direct sight of this pawn. So if he's the number one guy here, let's get rid of him. If he goes, the king goes. I think it comes down to that. Let's give it a shot. So I have an open file. Rook g1 is going to be a good move. Of the two rooks, this is probably the better one. The one in the corner is doing nothing. And now, bishop here is threatening queen here, which is lethal. In fact, I think it's already won now. Right? I don't see a defense. Queen h6 is just a killer. It's a killer. So, that was a pretty clean approach. Right? Queen h6 followed by a rook here on the g file with check. Is lights out. It's a mate coming up. That was a little bit of a clearance. In fact, in that position, instead of doing the bishop d4 move, my first thought was actually bishop to g5. But, you know, same idea, challenge the bishop, but, you know, have a stronger threat in mind as well. Queen h6. All right. Good game, no thanks. Let's see. Let me go a little slower with that one. Good game to my opponent, whose name is no thanks. That could be interpreted a different way. Let's have a look. It's very easy to just get killed quickly. I know that there's a better way to be putting up, well, I'm sure there's a better way to be putting up resistance. Let's see how we could do that. So, okay, yeah, again, it turns out to be the Yugoslav attack, or yeah, Yugoslav attack, but slight transposition. Now we're back on familiar turf. I wonder if a6 is should be played here. I wonder if there's something more direct. So yeah, I think maybe still going with the main line. I like rook to c8 and knight e5 to c4. I think this is turning out to just be a waste of time. I have seen sometimes just b5 without the a6 support, so keep that in mind right there. You know, just b5 giving up a pawn just to open up lines towards my king. I queenside castle. So just do a move you'll probably end up doing anyhow, in other words. Like rook c8. It'll probably come there anyhow. And then if I play queenside castle, there might even be a b5 move or something. Or a5. There might even be a5 involved. I think maybe even a5 could be a move. It's not without weakening b5, but something tells me a6 there's an improvement upon that right there. And in such a dynamic opening as this, you really do have to make every move count, and that could already be translating into a downfall right there. So yeah, and maybe well, I'm just not sure. I don't know about these A and B pawn pushes, so I'm thinking still trying with the main line, because I'm liking my position here a lot. I think this is maybe a good idea that I went forward with, and there's not many choices that you have. I'm already engaging with your pawns, and it's too difficult to get at my king. I don't see really how you could be getting at my king anytime soon. So I think the adjustment is back at this point right here with these a6, this a6 and b5 idea. Go with rook c8, knight e5, and then this pivot on the c4 square. I take, you take with your rook, and then getting your queen out to a5. This is a common move to see. Rook out, or queen out to a5, maybe even right now, actually. Queen d2. There might even be queen a5, and then your rook on f to c8. Sometimes you will want to maybe make use of the c8 square with your king rook so as to meet a move like bishop h6 with tucking the bishop back to h8. Avoids the bishop exchange, whereas otherwise there might be, you know, if it's this rook that's here, bishop h6, if the bishop backs up, it's not without having to give up some material. And I've even seen something like that played before, where, you know, you give up the exchange but you maintain this dragon bishop. So anyhow, some things to note from that.